All right, Rich Casanova here reporting live once again for the Pro Business Channel. We're on site, World Trade Day Atlanta. So we want to shout out again to the World Trade Center Atlanta for making this possible. And also for one of our sponsors for International Business Radio, which we're broadcasting here for today. And that's Tempus Global Payments around the world. You can check them out at tempusfx.com. All right, so we're talking to exhibitors, attendees. We actually have one of the speakers for today's event happening, Crystal Davis. So, Crystal, tell us a little bit of backstory of how you heard about the World Trade Center, the World Trade Day, and how you became involved as a speaker.
Wonderful question. So thank you so much. Actually, I met Diane at another conference.
Right.
And we happened to be sitting at a round table where we were discussing some of the workforce development challenges that are happening currently as well as for the future. And so I started sharing some of the things that I'm passionate about as well as concerned about as it relates to manufacturing workforce development. And she just said, we need to have you on the panel.
Oh, wow.
And so it was just that quick of an exchange.
Yeah.
And then so we spent some time getting to know one another after that, and then the opportunity came. So it was just a wonderful, spontaneous.
Yeah, when it's right, it's right.
When it's right, it's right. When we just connected.
Nice. That's a great backstory. So now fast forward. So obviously first time participating in the event. What are some of your takeaways, observations? I understand you sat in on an early panel.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I sat in on the panel about some of the geopolitical policies that will impact manufacturing. And it was a very diverse panel of experts talking about, some of the challenges that our neighboring countries, Canada and Mexico, will have with things on like steel and aluminum tariffs that are being discussed or imposed, and some of the other things that actually impact Georgia, which is where we are, Atlanta, Georgia, with respect to some of the softwood lumber. And so just really trying to understand how these trade agreements impact our actual industry.
It's interesting you dropped the names of two countries, and on International Business Radio as a new pilot show in the studio, we actually just had the first show was Nadia, right, from the Canadian consulate.
Absolutely.
And then the second episode, we had Javier from the Mexican consulate, right? And we had Diane yesterday in the studio. Yeah. So the trifecta there. So tell us a little bit about your business and how you help folks and what some of your missions.
Absolutely. So my company is the Lean Coach Incorporated, and I help manufacturing and supply chain companies to improve their productivity as well as to design a growth strategy and develop their people so that they are capable of delivering on the future growth strategies of the company. And I actually have a over 20-year background in manufacturing and supply chain.
20?
Yes,
I'm going to need you to see ID on that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rich. And I'm very, very passionate about helping to make sure that I work primarily in the United States now, although I have international experience from my professional corporate career. But, I'm very, very passionate about making sure that our companies are prepared and equipped for the future.
And if you're hearing that chime, it's not that our time's up. They're giving us a sign that there's a next panel event. Speaking of panel events, so you're going to be on. Tell us about the panel you're going to be participating on this afternoon as a speaker.
Yes, so the panel today is Advanced Manufacturing, Disruptive Innovations. So innovations such as artificial intelligence, augmented reality, blockchain, and how those things impact the supply chain and manufacturing. And the question that we're asking is, what is your strategy? Yeah. So do companies actually already have a strategy? And
if you don't get one quick, you're going to be left in the dust, right?
You're going to be left in the dust.
And you're going to be complete. Your business, your industry can be disrupted.
Yes.
But it's just fascinating. It's that we had a guy in a while back in the studio, world-renowned expert on cybersecurity, and it's just like it's scary on one hand, but you've got to be aware of it. But not only that is. It's just a fascinating subject matter. It's almost like sci-fi is becoming reality.
Absolutely. Right? And one of the things I love about our panel is that, while those technologies are important, it's also incredibly important that we understand how do those technologies interact with the people working in manufacturing.
Yeah.
What new skills will they need to have?
So how does the artificial interact with the intelligent person?
That's
right? Should we write that down? I'm going to write that one down.
On. Yeah. I love that. I love that.
If you can work that into your presentation.
That's tweetable.
It is, right? It's a hashtag right there. Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
But see if you can segue that into your panel discussion, because that is part of what the world we're living in today,
that
right?
It is, absolutely.
I mean, the technology of we're starting to incorporate some AI in our studio.
Right.
But meanwhile, so we're almost out of time here. So tell folks, how would they get in touch with you? I want to introduce you to Artie here in a minute. He is working in some of your space here. So, but first, we're going to sign off here with how would folks get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So I can be reached through social media at Crystal Y. Davis, all platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, etc. And my company website is crystalYdavis.com, and that's Crystal with a C.
But why with a Y?
But why with a Y?
All right, Crystal. I really enjoyed the conversation here. Again, Rich Casanova reporting live for the Pro Business Channel on site for International Business Radio at the World Trade Day 2018. Stay tuned for our next interview.